welcome everyone. I'm Chetna Sharma and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel, that is Law Impact Academy. As you all know that I'm running a series of a specific relief act and we have already discussed some points and we are furthering with some points. So let's get started.
So friends, we have discussed section 5 and section 6 in my last video. That section 5 and section 6 exclusively talks about immovable property. Now today in this video we are discussing section 7 and section 8. So section 7 and section 8 of Specific Relief Act 1963 deals with the recovery of possession of movable property. So let's start with section 7. Section 7 provides recovery of specific movable property. A person entitled to the possession of specific movable property may recover it in manner provided by the Code of Civil Procedure 1908. This section is similar like section 5, but section 5 talks about immovable property and section 7 talks about movable property. Here two explanations are also provided. So explanation 1 says a trustee may sue under this section for the possession of movable property to the beneficial interest in which the person from whom he is trustee is entitled. That means if a person who is owner and he transferred any property to a person under a trust, then the trustee can also file a suit with respect to such movable property under section 7. So the extent of section 7 will also cover trustee in explanation 1, and in explanation 2 it provides a special or temporary right to the present possession of movable property is sufficient to support a suit under this section. That means special or temporary right, for example a bailee. We all know that in bailment the movable property is transferred for a temporary period. Alright, so here we can understand it with an example of bailee, that a special or temporary right to a person possession of movable property is sufficient to support a suit under this section. So I am giving you some more example of special or temporary right. It can be a pledge of certain jewels to secure a loan. It can be a warehouse keeper who charged some money for securing your property or securing some goods for temporary time. So these can also be example of special or temporary rights. So these persons can also claim under section 7 for the recovery of specific movable property. So let's discuss the special features of section 7. The first feature of section 7 can be attracted only when the plaintiff is entitled to the possession of movable property. Alright. Second, the property must be specific. And third, the recovery of possession can be made in the same manner as is provided in Civil Procedure Code. So this is all about section 7. Let's move towards section 8. So section 8 is basically about the liability of person in possession not as owner to deliver to person entitled to immediate possession. Here in section 8, this is clearly stating that the person who is not an owner still having possession have to deliver the possession to the person who is entitled to immediate possession. Alright, so according to section 8, any person having the possession or control of a particular article of movable property of which he is not the owner, alright, that means he is having any temporary right over the property, that is only possession or only control. He may be compelled specifically to deliver it to the person entitled to its immediate possession in any of the following cases. What are these cases? First, when the thing is claimed by a defendant as the agent or trustee of the plaintiff, because these are the fiduciary relationship. All right, means the defendant and that is agent or trustee is not a owner. So if owner requires his property back, they have to deliver the immediate possession. Now the second case, when compensation in money would not afford the plaintiff adequate relief for loss of the thing claimed. That means that I have already discussed in my first and second video that if the thing or if the goods or if the movable property is of such value that in compensation in money would not afford the plaintiff adequate relief or loss, that I have given the example that some gift that has been given to you by your near and dear ones, they have a special importance, so you cannot compare it with monetary consideration. All right, so the second case is all about the thing or all about the property in which the compensation in money would not afford the plaintiff adequate relief. All right, now the next one is when it would be extremely difficult to ascertain the actual damage caused by its loss. If the particular movable property is lost, or if the plaintiff is not able to recover the possession, then how much actual damage has been caused is extremely difficult to ascertain by the courts, and courts cannot compel to do any impossible act. That's why here the property is to be delivered to the person who is entitled to immediate possession. Now the last one, when the possession of the thing claimed have been wrongfully transferred from the plaintiff. That means here the defendant is having wrongful possession and he has obtained the possession wrongfully from the plaintiff. Then also if plaintiff claims under section 8, he have to deliver the immediate possession to the plaintiff. There is a explanation also provided under section 8 that unless and until the contrary is proved, the court shall, in respect of the article of movable property claimed under clause B or clause C of this section, presume. That means court shall presume certain facts in favor of the plaintiff. What are these facts? That the compensation in money would not afford the plaintiff adequate relief for the loss of the thing claimed, or as the case may be. B. That it would be extremely difficult to ascertain the actual damage caused by its loss. So this section 8 clearly mentioned that there will be presumption in favor of plaintiff under clause B and clause C of section 8. And you know the effect of presumption, that if there is a presumption in the favor of plaintiff, then the burden of proof would be on defendant. So here the presumption is of shall presume nature. So the court shall grant the special or exceptional relief provided under section 8. But if the defendant rebuts the presumption or discharges his burden of proving the contrary, the court may not provide the special or exceptional relief provided under section 8. So hope section 7 and section 8 is clear to all of you. And if you are still having any doubt or question, you can ask it by writing it on comment box.
So hope you like my video, and if you really find it useful, do like it, share it and subscribe it, and also share it with all the judiciary aspirants who are preparing for judiciary.